gone to that, man. We get in a time
Yeah.
machine, go 4 years back and go to it.
See, I would love to. I've never had this on disc. I'm not even sure if it's available on disc, but I would love to hear, Kurt Russell and Kelly McGillis in particular talk about this movie.
Could we add John Carpenter to it so they can just laugh the entire time?
That'd be awesome.
Have you listened to those commentaries?
I have not.
Oh man, so
but I have heard about the laugh track.
The Thing, Big Trouble in Little China, Escape from New York. They call it cackling. Kurt Russell just laughs the entire time. It's beautiful. I love it. Hey, so how about this? Let's take a quick break, and we come back. We'll talk more Winter People. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. And Isaac, I have a surprise for you.
Okay.
We're going to do something. We're going to do a 1989 draft. I just thought about this. So you pick 5 movies, I pick 5 movies. I'll put up on Movies, Films, and Flicks Facebook and let people vote on it. So I have a number of, like, one, I have one or two. Pick 1 or 2.
2.
All right, you get first pick of the 1989 movies. So you get to pick any 1989 movie in our draft.
Any 1989 movie. I'm going to pick Batman.
Oh, gosh. I think you just won it right there. I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to go Roadhouse.
Oh, I'd forgotten Roadhouse was 89. Nice.
I got IMDb open, so I'm cheating. All right, so what do you got next?
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Oh, jeez Louise. You're going to crush me here. All right, so I got to go big now. I need to come back here. All right, Roadhouse. That's my number 1 pick. I'm insane. All right, so I'm going to go with... All right, I got Roadhouse. I'll just pick Roadhouse again. You know what? I'm going to go crazy and do Tango and Cash.
Another Kurt Russell.
That's
nice.
Right. All right. Yeah. I might get 0 votes. Very possible.
I'm trying to find a list of other movies from 89.
Do you want me to read some out to you? There's some big ones.
Yeah, I was actually thinking, all right, just give me a hint. Was there a Bond movie in 89?
There was.
Okay, License to Kill.
All right, there it is. Hey, where do you rank the Bonds real fast? Rank all the Bonds for me.
The Bonds themselves?
Yeah.
Up until before Daniel Craig, my number 1 was actually Roger Moore, because he was my Bond. He was the Generation X Bond. So he's the one I was most familiar with. Then Daniel Craig came along, and he bumped him up to number 1.
Oh wow!
So
I'm a Brosnan. So yeah, I'm a Brosnan guy because that's the first Bond I saw. I'm 37.
Yeah.
So I saw Goldeneye in 95 when I was 13.
Yeah.
I'm like, Brosnan, that's it. That's my
See,
dude.
that makes perfect sense. The first Bond movie I ever saw, believe it or not, was Moonraker.
Oh wow.
And I saw it at a drive-in theater.
That's a perfect experience, right? Isn't that great?
Yes. I saw it at a drive-in theater, and I must have been, if Moonraker came out in 78, I must have been 7 years old. And so I was with my parents at a drive-in, and that was my very first Bond experience. So naturally, my Bond for most of my life was Roger Moore, because that's who introduced me to the world of Bond.
He's probably the perfect Bond to catch when you're 8 or 9 years old, too. Roger Moore.
Yes. Yeah, because he's the silly Bond.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, man, I love him. All right, so my third pick, I'm going to do Say Anything. That's going to be my third pick.
All right.
That's in my top 5 or top 6 of all time, so I'm going to add that there. There's so many movies. 89 was stacked.
I still don't have my here we go. Dead Poet Society.
Oh, goodness. I'm done. If I get 1 vote, I'm lucky here. All right, let's see. I got to go big. I got to go for something really weird that'll catch people's eye and make them be like, oh, I love that movie. Or they'll be like, did he actually pick that movie? You know what? I'm going to do Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Nice.
Because,
good pick.
You know, there's some Bill and Ted lovers out there.
Yeah.
So this is your 5th pick.
Okay, so last one. Yeah. I'm not doing Ghostbusters 2.
No.
I'm debating between 3 here. There are 3 movies I'm looking at. I think I'm going to have to go with Back to the Future Part 2.
Oh, geez. That's a good one. Hoverboard.
Yes. Where's my hoverboard?
Oh, I love that. All right, so I guess I got to go with... All right, I'm either thinking... All right, it's either Do the Right Thing, or just something stupid. Oh, Christmas Vacation's in here? Wow.
Was that 89? Wow.
All right. Oh, Kiki's Delivery Service. Look who's talking. You know, I don't care. I'm doing Major League. I'm going out. I'm going out of my shield.
All right.
Wait, so this guy had Weekend at Bernie's and Winter People come out in the same year.
The same year, and you know, I'm sure Weekend at Bernie's was a much bigger box office.
Oh, that movie made bank.
Yeah.
You know that guy was in the Bernie? He was in, we have a podcast that came out called Tammy and the T-Rex, the gore cut.
Uh-huh.
He was the scientist in that movie.
Oh, really?
It's on Shudder right now. If you haven't watched Tammy and the T-Rex gore cut, do it now. The dead guy from Weekend at Bernie's is really cheeky in it. So let's get to the bottom of this real quick. So we got our picks in. I just want to get to the bottom of something. That clock, how long will it take to break?
How long will it take to break? I don't see that bear lasting more than 5 years without maintenance.
Because you'd have to look how there's track and there's gears. And this is a town that we already know. North Carolina gets a decent amount of snow. So it'll get very cold.
There's going to be temperature fluctuations. There's going to be, rain and wind and snow. So, yeah.
It's going to expand during the summer. Like, who knows what that's going to do?
My first concern when it looked like Waylon and Paula were going to have to leave was who's going to maintain the clock.
Yeah.
I guess at that point the clock wasn't even finished. So
let's make Goodger go. We need Kurt Russell here we need Waylon Jackson here well, actually, I'd get rid of Waylon Jackson because I'd hate to say that full name every time.
They should just call him Way.
Yeah. Oh, Way. Ooh. Would you like it if you had so we have Chris Kelly on the pod, but that name rolls off your tongue. If you have a buddy who's Waylon Jackson and you have to call him Waylon Jackson every time you talk to him, would you like that?
I would not like that.
No. And
I would get tongue-tied on that.
Did you think, all right, what he made was a work of art. He built track and moving gears and he timed it. I mean, there's math in there. How good of a clockmaker is this guy?
He is a really good clockmaker.
I guess it's 34 that killed him, right? Because of the Depression.
The Depression, yeah. And I don't understand why he never took the time to finish the clock he hangs on Colley's wall.
Oh, yeah. Because that's interesting. And then that dude shoots at all the crap.
Yeah, and it's unfinished and hanging. And I guess, all his time had to be devoted to the tower after that.
Thanks, Waylon Jackson. I like, though, when Cole shoots it and he goes, "How dare you break something you can't fix?"
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. And he seems more upset about that than he is about this guy, busting in on Colley's home and just, invading the place because he has offspring there,
That Cole, he's not a good dude.
No, he's not.
But he does throw, Russell got tossed around. That was kind of fun to watch.
It was. And yeah, he gets really beat up in this movie. I mean, Cole nearly kills him, gives him a bloody eye. It's a bloody eyeball.
Oh yeah.
And he gets shot by Cole's dad, or not by the dad, but by one of Cole's brothers.
I just grazed him, and then he walks away, and you never hear about it again.
Right. He's like, I just wanted to come tell you this about your dead son Cole and piss you off enough to get shot, and then I'm going home.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into the fur trapper's home and just diss the head of everything. And then get shot. I mean, he's lucky he didn't get killed, right?
He is lucky. Yeah.
Wow. And I liked when we first meet the fur trappers in this scene. There's a guy delegating, put that fur over there, put that fur on there.
Yeah, and the camera just kind of follows him around as he's telling people what to do.
I don't like it in movies where I worked in film for a long time and I worked with a lot of extras. And for some reason, let's say there's a scene with you and I at a library. Normally there's a few people walking around, but there's a lot of people sitting down. There's a few people looking at books. It's pretty subdued. But if we're shooting a movie, I have 70,000 people walking around in the background, grabbing books or looking at books or going upstairs, downstairs, checking out. It's the busiest thing you'll ever see in your life. So in that fur trapper, it's like I would be exhausted. Like in the Star Wars movies, pilots are running everywhere all the time. All those pilot extras, everyone's sprinting. So I guess it makes it look interesting in the background, but that fur trapping place was pretty exhausting. I wouldn't want to be part of that.
No, absolutely. I mean, he needed to delegate some stuff,
I guess he's a good manager.
I guess.
Hey, you put those furs over there. I know they're on different sides of the stream, and they're different people, but do the Campbells know that they're kind of jerks?
That's a good question. There's a class difference between the Wrights and the Campbells that you can actually see especially once Collie goes inside the house. Mm-hmm. The Campbells are dirtier. The place is not as clean and shiny as the Wrights' home, and not as bright. There are fewer windows. So I don't know that I'm not sure that they realize. What was the word you used? I don't think they think they're bad people.
Yeah, I guess dirtbags. They're kind of dirtbags.
Dirtbags. Yeah, I don't think they think they're dirtbags. I think that they probably see themselves as having less advantage than the Wrights, and sort of just therefore they want to use dirtier tactics to kind of get what's owed them.
Like flipping trucks in streams. They could have just dragged that thing out of there.
Sure.
Instead they flipped it in the stream. That's going to have a lot of oil and everything in the water.
Yeah, they could poison the water.
Rust. They didn't think that through.
No, they didn't. Absolutely not.
That's not. Oh man, these guys. They kind of that is a dirtbag move. Would you say?
It is.
If they're ever trying to stick up for themselves, like, man, you flipped a truck in a stream.
Right.
Come on now. But like that Cole, I guess Kurt Russell goes to the father. He goes to the elder Campbell, and he basically blames all of Cole's bad behavior on the father. But Cole did not have to kick the door in and force himself onto a woman. Like, he didn't do that because his dad was a jerk, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So when Kurt went at him like that, I was like, I don't think you're telling the whole, like, you're telling the story, but there's ways to deal with that are healthier.
And we're not sure. I mean, he tells him that Cole didn't feel like he could tell you about his love for Collie. I'm not actually sure Cole loved Collie.
Yeah.
I think Collie was more of a possession for him.
Oh, certainly.
Than any kind of actual love, but he may not have known the difference.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, that's a good question. I mean, he was probably never raised with any sort of maybe affection, right? He was just kind of raised to be a fur trapper. Yeah. Didn't they say when he was 10 years old he could take a bear and snap its head off? Obviously not, but
yeah.
When he was 10 years old. Oh, that's a good point.
And it's like the only Campbell that actually seems to have any kind of sense and conscience is the head, the leader, the dad or grandpa. So he hasn't really done a very good job of raising all these other Campbells.
He's raised a bunch of feral people.
Yes. Yeah.
But I guess they're loyal to each other, so that's good.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's some good there.
That was pretty interesting with Kurt Russell talking about his former wife, too, in the 30s, how she walked into the water to end the pain.
Yeah.
I know I'm jumping all over the place, but that was a gnarly story. Do you think she probably had a form of illness? I don't know the right term. Mental illness that just was undiagnosed in the 30s, and she wanted the pain to end?
I think that's absolutely what he hints at. And I think somebody, I can't remember, it's Collie or somebody asked him she was crazy, and he says no, but she was in a lot of pain. So I think there probably was some mental health issue with her, and we're just, maybe he didn't even know what it was exactly that drove her to do it, but she was obviously, it wasn't a physical disability.
Yeah.
Or didn't seem to be, if she was able to walk into the sea.
That scene was kind of interesting because Kelly McGillis is like, you don't have to tell me. And then he keeps telling her, and she's like, no, you really don't have to tell me. And then he keeps going, and she's like, no, like, seriously, it's all good.
A lot of people force stuff on Collie.
Yeah. She's like, I'm fine, Kurt Russell. I'm fine. I don't want I thought that was pretty funny. And then when Cole comes in, Kurt Russell's like, make us coffee. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Another thing that gets me in these movies, you watch Lord of the Rings or any of these films, it's always like they always yell Papa, Papa, or Willow, Papa, or Pa, or
Mm-mm.
I guess that's a Southern thing, but just hearing